differ for you going against their defense with Hartenstein compared to with Chet?
Probably more traditional. Don't switch as much. They do play a lot of small still, but more traditional with traditional five, I guess. And not as unique as Holmgren is, but still very effective when they go small. And they still do what they do regardless. Packing the paint, causing turnovers, showing the crowd, making beat them with jump shots.
Toward the end of practice yesterday, when the centers were practicing their threes, I saw you were telling Sengun not to hesitate when he was taking the threes. Do you feel like he's gotten better with that over the past year when defenses do sag off of him?
I think he still picks his spots. If he is going to pop out of pick and rolls, we like him to be aggressive and look for that shot because it's going to be there. Understanding if he passes up a roll and how good he is in the pocket, you might as well take the shot. They're going to make you prove it first. So don't want him to hesitate there if he's there. Spacing is a little bit different when he's on the perimeter space. We want him to let it fly every time. So it's a little bit of a mix, but we love him in the pocket. And if he does pop, he has to try to at least make him on it.
How nice was it just to have a few days off for your guys to maybe get their legs back?
Yeah, it was good. I think mental break as well as physically getting the legs back, like you said. We had a grueling schedule. I think 17 games in 30 days and 5 and 7. Then we had 2 days off and then back-to-back and then 3 days off. So it was a little bit of an odd schedule, but good chance for guys to get away with their family for Thanksgiving and rest up and kind of reflect on where we're at after 20 games.
When you go with the small lineups, do you do it more to make them adjust to sort of match up with you, or do you do it to match up as with when they go small to them?
I think it's either or. I think both teams do it to try to force the other's hand, and the team that's kind of making you pay will have to adjust. And so we'd like to stay bigger. I think Alperen's has an advantage over any lineup in the NBA, let alone a small lineup. And so as long as we're punishing them on that end, somebody's going to adjust to somebody. And if we're the team that's struggling, that's when we'll go small.
There's not a lot of guys who could be more different than Steven and Jabari as center options. What makes one, like Philly game, you went a lot with Jabari as a center. What makes the matchup that you want, or whatever it is you're looking for, to make that the right choice or Steven the right choice?
Really a lot to do with our defensive effectiveness more so than anything. I think we wanted to switch a lot against Philadelphia. No Embiid there, and Maxey was getting downhill a little bit too much and hurting us there. So we went the smaller lineup, and if no Joel's there, that's kind of a body that we'd like to have Steven on. And so that was a big part of it, but they went extra small, and we want to keep up with that pace. And Jabari's very comfortable at that, but it also allows us to downsize and put Aaron in and get more minutes for Tari and I'm in as well.
Whenever you play the top team, it can be considered a test. Do you see it that way? And then in general, what do you see from the Oklahoma City Thunder right now with them playing good?
Yeah, I'd say it's a test due to the fact that they were the team that beat us decisively this year. Other than the Golden State game where they jumped out 30 and we got it back to overtime, this is the team that kind of beat us more so than anything from start to finish. It was a big second quarter, 44-20, that really gave them the advantage, but we played a pretty even other than that quarter. And so for us, it's a good barometer, I think, just because of that fact that they beat us pretty handily there. And what was the second part?
What stands out about this Thunder team right now with their play?
That they are a definition of a team. Very selfless. They play the right way, play for each other. Although they have some really good scores, they make the right plays more often than not. And so a lot of guys that can contribute. The new guys that they brought in have brought in pretty well. And so definition of team, and that's why they are where they are.
You've had a handful of tight games lately. How do you think the team has performed or executed late in games?
I think to lose the leads, we haven't been our best. When we had those late leads that we could have avoided overtime, but the fact that we bounced back and had some good runs in overtime and kind of put the late collapses behind us was a good sign to move forward. We would have lost some of those last year, and so show some growth there overall, but want to be better at the finish to maintain those leads and not have to take them to overtime.
Sengun's defense had always been considered a question mark, and obviously here you guys are ranked second in the league defensively. What's he doing to contribute to that, and what are you doing to be able to build that type of defense with him in the middle?
Yeah, I think he's taking steps on the defensive end for sure. As far as guard and pick and roll, he's being more of a deterrent up on the ball. Sometimes we're trapping a lot more with him and kind of activating him there instead of having to sit back and traditional drop coverage or center field where he's not the best rim protector, but underrated, I would say, overall, and he's done that well when he's especially been off the ball. And so moving around a little bit, but he's taking pride in, trying to stop the ball and not let those guys get ahead of steam. And then we put the onus on our wings and guards to do their part as well. So it's not a traditional 2-on-1 coming downhill like I'm saying. But so overall, he's bought in. You saw that last year, improved last year, and I think he's taking another step this year. But always been decent in the post. Can move his feet somewhat well when he does switch, but I think he's been good in our schemes and coverages going after guys.
And with Thompson, where have you seen the most progress from him this year?
Overall, defensively, he does what he does. I think being more solid at times, understanding who he can help off of and when to make plays. A lot of times he's on a primary score, and so where he might have gambled before, he realizes, trust the other teammates and kind of stay locked in on that guy. Offensively, just continue to grow with what he's done last year, which is playing off ball as well as on ball. He gets it off the rebound. He's great in transition, great passer, great with the pace, but doing the other things, working in the dunker, confident in the corner threes, and then as a roller, he really improved last year, and he's carried that on over this year.